My very respectable coin collectors, if you've ever held a penny in your hand and thought it was just a small, ordinary coin worth only 1 cent, then what we're about to explore is going to completely change the way you look at everyday change. Now, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, focusing on one of the most remarkable examples in modern numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent from 1983 in the United States. At first glance, it seems like any other penny from that year, passing quickly from hand to hand, used for small purchases, or forgotten in jars or drawers. Yet under extremely rare circumstances, this coin can be worth an astonishing $233,000, an extraordinary difference from its face value. The reasons behind this massive valuation lie in errors, mistakes, mint mark anomalies, rarity, condition, and the intense collector demand for coins that stand apart from the ordinary. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, has been one of the most common and recognizable coins in American currency for over a century. By 1983, the design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse had become a staple in everyday transactions. Most people did not pay much attention to these coins, as they were so ubiquitous that they seemed almost invisible. But the very familiarity of the coin is part of what makes the rare 1983 penny errors so fascinating. Because they look ordinary, when an anomaly is discovered, it immediately stands out as something exceptional, a hidden treasure among millions of otherwise common coins. The year 1983 itself holds significance in the context of coinage. The United States Mint was producing billions of pennies to meet circulation demand. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were operating at high efficiency, employing presses capable of striking thousands of coins per hour. Quality control was rigorous, but the enormous scale of production meant that the possibility of mistakes was never zero. When rare mistakes did occur and survived in excellent condition, they became highly valuable collectibles, sought after by enthusiasts around the world. One of the primary reasons a 1983 Liberty 1 cent can command a value as high as $233,000 is due to major minting errors. Error coins are prized because they are physical evidence of something unusual happening in the minting process. Each error tells a story about the mechanical, human, and procedural elements that deviated from perfection. Some of the most dramatic errors involve wrong planchets. A planchet is the blank metal disc that will be struck to become a coin. Occasionally, a penny is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, or even on a foreign planchet. Such coins are visually striking because the size, thickness, and metal composition do not match the standard penny. For a modern coin like the 1983 penny, this type of error is exceedingly rare, and authenticated examples can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes are another category of errors that can dramatically increase value. When the planchet is not properly aligned between the dies during striking, part of the design may be missing, leaving a blank area on the coin. Minor off-center strikes are not uncommon and often carry modest premiums, but extreme off-center strikes, where a significant portion of the design is missing yet the date and key features remain visible, are exceptionally rare. A 1983 penny with a significant off-center strike can become a headline-making collectible. Double strikes or multiple strikes are also highly sought-after errors. These occur when a coin is struck more than once by the dies, often at slightly different angles or positions. The result is overlapping images, doubled lettering, or distorted portraits that are visually unusual and highly attractive to collectors. In modern coinage, such errors are rare, and for a 1983 penny to survive in such condition is remarkable. Double die errors are perhaps the most famous type of mint anomaly. These occur during the creation of the die itself rather than during the striking of individual coins. If the die receives multiple impressions that are misaligned during its creation, every coin struck by that die will show doubling in the same locations. True double die pennies from 1983 are extremely rare and highly desirable, particularly if the doubling affects key areas such as the date, the lettering, or Abraham Lincoln's features. These coins are dramatic, eye-catching, and can command extraordinary prices. Die cracks, die breaks, and cuts also play a significant role in determining value. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin caused by a crack in the die, while a die break occurs when a portion of the die breaks away entirely, creating a raised blob of metal known as a cud. While small die cracks are relatively common and add modest value, large or dramatic die breaks are far less frequent and highly collectible. A 1983 penny with a prominent die crack or cud would immediately draw the attention of serious collectors. Mint mark anomalies can significantly enhance a coin's value as well. The Denver Mint is represented by the D mint mark, while Philadelphia coins typically carry no mint mark or AP, depending on the year. Errors involving mint marks, such as misplaced, doubled, or missing mint marks, are highly sought after by collectors. A 1983 penny with an unusual or missing mint mark could be worth significantly more than ordinary examples, particularly if the error is dramatic and the coin is in excellent condition. The condition of the coin is another critical factor in determining its value. Most 1983 pennies entered circulation immediately and show signs of wear, scratches, and contact marks. High-grade examples, particularly those that remain in mint state condition with original luster and sharp details, are extremely rare. When a dramatic mint error is preserved in such exceptional condition, the value can increase exponentially. This combination of rarity and preservation is what allows certain 1983 pennies to reach values as high as $233,000. Professional grading and authentication are essential when dealing with coins of this magnitude. Reputable grading services examine coins under magnification, verify the weight and composition, and authenticate errors. Coins certified by these services carry credibility in the market and attract higher bidding. Without professional authentication, even genuine errors may struggle to achieve their full market potential. Collector demand is a powerful factor in driving coin values to extraordinary levels. Coin collecting is a competitive and passionate pursuit, fueled by the desire to own something rare, unique, and historically significant. When a 1983 penny with a dramatic error appears on the market, collectors recognize its rarity and potential, often resulting in intense bidding. The combination of scarcity, visual appeal, and historical interest can push prices far beyond what most people would expect. Emotional value also contributes to the high valuations of these coins. For many collectors, owning a rare penny is about more than just money. It represents a tangible connection to history, the artistry of coin design, and the intrigue of minting imperfections. A 1983 Liberty 1 cent with a rare error embodies all of these qualities, making it highly desirable and emotionally compelling for collectors. The broader market for rare coins also affects valuations. Interest in modern and late 20th century coins has been increasing, as collectors seek coins that are both familiar and collectible. The 1983 penny is recent enough to be recognizable and nostalgic, yet old enough to present opportunities for errors that survived in exceptional condition. This combination of familiarity and rarity makes dramatic errors from this year particularly appealing. Provenance, or documented history, can further enhance a coin's value. Coins that have appeared in notable collections, auctions, or publications are often more desirable to collectors. A well-documented 1983 penny error, with verified history and prior recognition, can command a premium above and beyond the intrinsic rarity of the coin itself. It's important to remember that the $233,000 valuation represents the extreme upper end of the market. The vast majority of 1983 pennies are still worth only face value or a modest premium. The coins that achieve such extraordinary prices are those that combine multiple rare factors: dramatic errors, exceptional preservation, professional certification, documented provenance, and high collector demand. Discoveries of valuable coins often happen by chance. People find rare errors in pocket change, rolls of coins from banks, inherited collections, and even in old jars stored for decades. The discovery process begins with curiosity, someone noticing an anomaly and investigating further. Many legendary coins were first spotted by ordinary individuals who paid attention to details that most people overlook. Education is crucial in identifying rare coins. Understanding minting processes, error types, and grading standards allows collectors to recognize genuine opportunities and avoid costly mistakes. Modern coins, including the 1983 Liberty 1 cent, may contain subtle errors that require careful observation and expert knowledge to identify. Knowledgeable collectors can distinguish true mint errors from post-mint damage, which is essential for accurate valuation. Caution is equally important. Not every unusual feature adds value, and many imperfections result from wear, circulation, or mishandling after the coin left the mint. Only certified errors, authenticated by reputable grading services, should be considered when evaluating potential value. Dear history lovers, if you've ever held a penny in your hand and thought it was just an ordinary coin with a value of 1 cent, then what we're about to explore will completely transform the way you view everyday change. Now, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare and highly valuable coins, focusing on one of the most remarkable examples in modern American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent, specifically the 1986 Lincoln penny from the United States. At first glance, this coin might seem ordinary, passing through countless hands every day, used for small purchases, dropped into jars, or forgotten in drawers. Yet under exceptionally rare circumstances, this 1986 Lincoln penny can be worth an astonishing $230,000, an extraordinary difference from its face value. What makes this coin so valuable lies in a combination of mint errors, mistakes, anomalies with mint marks, rarity, condition, and the insatiable demand among collectors who recognize its significance. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has become one of the most widely recognized and circulated coins in the United States. By 1986, the design featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse had become a familiar staple in everyday transactions. Most people never paid much attention to these coins, as they were so common that they seemed almost invisible. But it is this very familiarity that makes rare examples, like the 1986 Liberty 1 cent errors, so fascinating. When a coin that appears ordinary is discovered to possess a dramatic error, it immediately becomes extraordinary, a hidden treasure amid millions of otherwise standard coins. The year 1986 holds significance in the context of coin production. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were operating at full capacity, producing billions of pennies to meet the nation's demand for small change. Coin presses were operating at high speed, designed to strike thousands of coins per hour, and quality control measures were in place to catch defects. However, the sheer volume of coins meant that errors could still occur, and some of these coins survived in exceptional condition. It is among these rare survivors that we find pennies like the 1986 Lincoln with extraordinary errors that have the potential to fetch enormous sums. One of the primary reasons a 1986 Lincoln penny can command such an extraordinary value is the presence of major minting errors. Error coins are prized because they capture a moment when the minting process deviated from perfection. Each error tells a story of human and mechanical processes, of the small anomalies that occur when machines operate at high speed and volume. Some of the most dramatic and valuable errors involve planchet issues. The planchet is the blank metal disc that becomes a coin once struck by the dies. Occasionally, a penny is struck on the wrong planchet, which may have been intended for another denomination, or even on a foreign planchet. Such coins are visually striking because they do not match the standard penny in size, thickness, or composition. For a modern coin like the 1986 Lincoln penny, these errors are exceedingly rare, and authenticated examples can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes are another type of error that can dramatically increase a coin's value. When the planchet is not properly aligned in the press during striking, a portion of the design may be missing, leaving an unstruck blank area on the coin. While minor off-center strikes carry modest premiums, extreme off-center strikes, where a significant part of the design is missing yet the date and key features remain visible, are extraordinarily rare. A 1986 penny with a major off-center strike can attract immediate attention from collectors and even achieve record-breaking prices when in pristine condition. Double strikes and multiple strikes are additional categories of errors that make coins highly desirable. These occur when a coin is struck more than once by the dies, often at slightly different angles or positions. The result is overlapping designs, doubled lettering, or distorted features that make the coin appear almost surreal. For modern coins like the 1986 penny, a dramatic double strike error is exceptionally rare and instantly collectible, capturing the imagination of collectors who appreciate both the visual uniqueness and the story behind such an anomaly. Double die errors are among the most famous and sought-after types of mint anomalies. These occur during the creation of the die itself, rather than during the striking of the coins. If the die receives multiple misaligned impressions during production, every coin struck from that die exhibits doubling in the same areas. True double die pennies from 1986 are extremely rare, particularly when the doubling affects critical areas such as the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's portrait. These coins are visually striking and highly prized by collectors, often achieving extraordinary market values. Die cracks, die breaks, and cuds also contribute significantly to the rarity and value of certain coins. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin, caused by a fracture in the die itself, while a die break occurs when a portion of the die breaks away, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin known as a cud. Small die cracks may be relatively common and add only modest value, but large and dramatic die breaks are much rarer and highly collectible. A 1986 Lincoln penny with a prominent die crack or cud would stand out immediately to collectors and could command substantial premiums. Mint mark anomalies also play a crucial role in enhancing a coin's value. The Denver Mint is identified by the D Mint mark, while Philadelphia coins typically carry no mint mark or AP, depending on the year. Mint mark errors can occur when the mint mark is misplaced, repunched, doubled, or missing entirely. Coins with unusual or missing mint marks are highly desirable, particularly if the error is dramatic and the coin remains in excellent condition. A 1986 penny with an unusual or missing mint mark could be worth several times the value of a standard circulation coin. Condition is another critical factor in determining the value of rare coins. Most 1986 pennies entered circulation immediately and exhibit signs of wear, scratches, and contact marks from handling. High-grade examples, especially those that retain original mint luster and sharp details, are exceedingly rare. When a dramatic mint error is preserved in such exceptional condition, the coin's value increases exponentially. The combination of a striking error and outstanding preservation is what allows some 1986 Lincoln pennies to reach values as high as $230,000. Professional grading and authentication are essential for realizing the true market potential of such coins. Reputable grading services examine coins under magnification, verify weight and composition, and authenticate errors. Coins certified by these services carry credibility in the marketplace and attract higher bids from collectors. Without professional authentication, even a genuine error coin may fail to achieve its full market value. Collector demand is a powerful driver of coin values, and the 1986 Lincoln penny with a major error is no exception. Coin collecting is not merely a hobby, it is a competitive pursuit fueled by the desire to own something rare, unique, and historically significant. When a rare 1986 penny appears, collectors recognize its scarcity and potential, often resulting in intense bidding that can push prices far beyond expectations. Emotional and historical value also contribute to the desirability of these coins. For collectors, owning a rare penny represents more than just monetary value. It is a tangible connection to history, an artifact of the minting process, and evidence of human and mechanical imperfection captured in metal. A 1986 Lincoln penny with a dramatic error embodies all these qualities, making it highly sought after and emotionally significant for collectors. The broader market for rare coins also influences valuations. Interest in modern coins has grown steadily as collectors seek coins they remember from everyday life that also carry potential for rarity and error. The 1986 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this trend, being recent enough to feel familiar yet old enough for rare errors to have survived in excellent condition. This combination of nostalgia, familiarity, and rarity makes dramatic 1986 penny errors particularly appealing. Provenance, or a documented history of the coin, can further increase its value. Coins that have appeared in significant collections, auctions, or publications are often more desirable to collectors. A 1986 Lincoln penny with a well-documented history, including verification of its error and prior recognition, can command premiums above and beyond its intrinsic rarity. It is important to note that the $230,000 valuation represents the extreme upper end of the market. The vast majority of 1986 pennies are still worth only face value or a modest premium. Coins that achieve extraordinary prices are those that combine multiple rare factors: significant minting errors, exceptional preservation, professional certification, documented provenance, and strong collector demand. Discoveries of valuable coins often occur serendipitously. Rare errors are found in pocket change, rolls of coins obtained from banks, inherited collections, or jars of coins stored for decades. The discovery begins with curiosity, someone noticing an anomaly and investigating further. Many of the most legendary coins were first spotted by ordinary people paying attention to details that most would overlook. Welcome back and thank you so much for being here today. If you have ever held a small penny in your hand and thought it was just an ordinary coin with a value of 1 cent, then you are in for an eye-opening experience. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating story of the Liberty 1-cent coin from 1990 in the United States, a coin that appears ordinary but, under incredibly rare circumstances, can be worth as much as $250,000. That staggering difference from its face value is not magic, it is the result of a combination of errors, mistakes, mint mark anomalies, rarity, condition, and the intense demand of collectors who understand the true story behind these extraordinary coins. The penny is perhaps the most common coin in American currency. It is small, light, and often overlooked. People spend pennies quickly, drop them into jars, leave them in drawers, or forget about them entirely. By 1990, the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for decades, with its iconic design familiar to millions of Americans. The coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, making it a staple of American coinage. Yet within the vast number of pennies produced that year, there exist rare specimens that are incredibly valuable because of production errors and anomalies that escaped the mint's quality control. The year 1990 was a significant time in U.S. coin production. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were producing millions of coins to meet the nation's demands, using advanced machinery designed to strike coins at high speed while maintaining uniformity. Despite these technological advances, no system is perfect. The massive volume of coins produced increases the chances of rare errors occurring. When these errors are dramatic and the coins survive in exceptional condition, they become some of the most sought-after pieces in modern numismatics. One of the key reasons a 1990 Liberty 1 cent can reach such a high value is due to major minting errors. Errors are highly prized by collectors because they represent a moment in history when something unusual happened at the mint. Each error tells a story about the process and the human and mechanical factors that led to a coin deviating from its intended design. Some of the most valuable errors involve wrong planchets. A planchet is the blank metal disc that becomes a coin. If a penny is struck on the wrong planchet, the results can be dramatic. For instance, a 1990 penny struck on a dime planchet or a nickel planchet would immediately appear unusual due to its size, weight, and composition. Such errors are exceptionally rare in modern coins, and when authenticated, they can command enormous prices. Off-center strikes are another category of errors that can dramatically increase a coin's value. If the planchet is not properly centered during striking, part of the design may be missing, leaving a blank crescent of metal on one side. The more extreme the off-center strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin. A 1990 penny with a significant off-center strike that still shows the date and key details can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and when combined with other errors, the value can escalate to hundreds of thousands. Double strikes and multiple strikes are also fascinating error types. These occur when a coin is struck more than once by the dies, often at slightly different angles or positions. The result can be overlapping images, doubled lettering, or distorted portraits that look almost artistic. For a modern 1990 penny, a dramatic double strike error would be highly unusual and very desirable to collectors. Double die errors are perhaps the most famous type of mint error. These occur during the creation of the die itself, rather than the striking of individual coins. If the die receives multiple misaligned impressions during its manufacture, every coin struck from that die will show doubling in the same locations. True double die pennies are extremely rare and highly prized, particularly when the doubling affects the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait. Such coins from 1990 are exceptionally rare in comparison to older classic double dies, making them incredibly valuable. Die cracks, die breaks, and cuds also play a major role in determining value. A die crack is a raised line on the coin caused by a crack in the die, while a die break occurs when a portion of the die breaks away completely, leaving a raised area on the coin known as a cud. Large and dramatic die cracks or cuds are rare and visually striking, making the coins that bear them especially collectible. A 1990 penny with a significant die break or cud would instantly attract attention in the numismatic community. Mint mark anomalies are another important factor. The Denver Mint is represented by a D mint mark, and the Philadelphia Mint by a P or no mint mark, depending on the year and denomination. Mint mark errors can occur when a mint mark is misplaced, repunched, doubled, or missing entirely. Coins with unusual or missing mint marks are often far more valuable than their standard counterparts, especially if the error is dramatic and clearly visible. A 1990 penny with a misplaced or repunched D mint mark can be worth significantly more than face value. especially in pristine condition. Condition is one of the most critical factors in determining extreme value. Most 1990 pennies were heavily circulated and show signs of wear, scratches, and contact marks. High-grade examples, particularly those with mint state luster and no wear, are extremely rare. When a rare error coin is also preserved in near-perfect or flawless condition, its value increases exponentially. The combination of a dramatic error and exceptional condition is what allows some 1990 pennies to reach values as high as $250,000. Professional grading and authentication are essential in verifying such coins. Grading companies examine coins under magnification, measure weight and metal composition, and authenticate errors. A coin certified by a reputable grading service carries far more credibility in the market, allowing collectors to bid with confidence. Without professional authentication, even a genuine error coin may struggle to reach its true market potential. Collector demand is another powerful driver of value. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a competitive pursuit fueled by knowledge, passion, and the desire to own something unique. When a rare 1990 penny with a dramatic error surfaces, collectors recognize that opportunities like this are extraordinarily rare. The scarcity combined with collector enthusiasm often results in bidding wars that push prices far beyond what many would expect. Emotional value also plays a role. For collectors, owning a rare coin is about more than money, it is about history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. A 1990 Liberty 1 cent with a rare minting anomaly represents a tangible connection to the minting process, to the history of coinage, and to the human and mechanical imperfections that make such discoveries possible. This story, captured in metal, adds intangible value that goes beyond mere dollars. The broader rare coin market and economic conditions also influence valuations. Interest in modern coins has grown as collectors seek coins they remember using in everyday life. The 1990 penny fits perfectly into this trend, being recent enough to feel familiar but old enough to be collectible. The rarity of major errors combined with this familiarity creates a perfect storm for extremely high valuations. Provenance further enhances value. Coins with documented history, such as previous appearances in auctions, publications, or notable collections, can command premiums. A 1990 Liberty 1 cent with a well-documented error history or discovery story can become even more desirable to collectors seeking not just a coin but a piece of numismatic history. It is important to remember that the $250,000 valuation represents the extreme upper end of the market. The vast majority of 1990 pennies are still worth face value or only a modest premium. The extraordinary prices are reserved for coins that combine multiple factors: dramatic minting errors, exceptional preservation, authentication, provenance, and strong collector demand. Discoveries of valuable coins often occur by accident. People find error coins in pocket change, old jars, inherited collections, and rolls of coins from the bank. These discoveries start with someone noticing something unusual and investigating further. The 1990 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how hidden treasures can exist in the most ordinary places. Education is crucial for anyone interested in identifying rare coins. Understanding minting processes, error types, and grading standards helps collectors recognize genuine opportunities and avoid costly mistakes. Knowledgeable collectors can differentiate true mint errors from post-mint damage, which is critical for valuation. At the same time, caution is necessary. Not every anomaly adds value. Many imperfections result from circulation, handling, or damage that occurred after the coin left the mint. Proper evaluation by experts ensures that only authentic mint errors are considered valuable. The appeal of the 1990 Liberty 1 cent lies in its ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. A coin that once paid for a piece of candy or a small purchase can, under the rarest circumstances, become a life-changing discovery. It reminds us that history, chance, and human error converge in ways that are often hidden in plain sight. Collectors are fascinated not only by the monetary potential of these coins but also by the stories they tell. Each error represents a precise moment when the minting process deviated from perfection.